Hey, do us a favor, like and subscribe. Thanks. So, guys, this is actually a horror story, and it's actually a story time. And I don't like story times, but I decided to give you guys a story time. Um, Basically, when I was married, I lived up north. So I lived in another state. So I ended up having to move up north and live with my current husband, who I'm now his ex-wife. We're no longer married. Hallelujah. Praise God. Praise Allah. Praise Krishna. Praise the Almighty Creator, the beginning and the end. So I basically went up there, and he was basically I don't know, a contractor, someone who fixes houses. And he got a really good contract. But okay, so we live in the city, but we had to move to kind of like the boonies, like sticks. Like we had to move out in a more country area. It's kind of like if you've been watching American Horror Story season 6 or 7. I don't know. You know how that couple bought that really creepy house? Well, when he told me that he got a great contract and that we would be staying in a really nice house and that I get creeped out just telling this story. Like this really nice house, and it's like a mini mansion. It's so amazing. But when he was telling me this, literally the hairs in the back of my head were standing up. Not in the back of my head, in the back of my neck. By this time in my life, I had stopped really practicing spiritually. So I kind of had put down my broom and hid my cauldron, and I stopped doing spells. I put down my ancestral altar. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff going on, and I decided to play wife. Well, something just did not feel right from the very beginning after he told me. So I think after he signed the contract, and then he got his group of workers, I think it took like 2 weeks. And we moved out there. First of all, like it was a good hour and like 20 minutes, 30, good hour and 30 minutes away from the actual city. It was in a small town, not like a bad town, but it was a small town. It was that, two-parent household, cat and dog type of environment. Not a lot of minorities either, small town life. So we have to go through the town, like we have to go past the town to go on this dirt road in order to get to the house. And I'm just like, this is some Freddy Krueger shit. Like Jason, Mike Myers shit. I'll even throw Chucky in there because I'm very paranoid because I was raised in the city, but the hairs in the back of my neck refused to come down. It was like I felt like we were walking into our own funeral. Like I almost felt like we were walking into a trap. Like I still, when I talk about it, I feel uncomfortable. Like I do. So he's driving, he's all excited because we're about to stay in this nice mansion, da 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 da, and we're on this country road, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. He's all excited. He's all geeked up to get killed by like Freddy Krueger. He's talking about 1 hour walks in the woods, and like he's pretty geeked up. And I'm like, oh hell no! Like, like I will like barricade myself in a room. Like this is not cool. So we finally start driving up to the house, and actually, it's a really nice house. Um, the picture that we have up is not an actual picture of how the house looked. I'm not trying to get sued, so this is just a picture that's kind of close. The house had a lot of rooms, and it was like a three-level house, and it was actually a yellow house, and it had a long patio that went around the whole house. And it was a nice house. Like it was considered like a Victorian style mansion, like really, really nice, but it just kind of scared me because I'm like, what if they have like trap doors or rooms that lead to like torture dungeons or like a zombie basement? Like I was paranoid, but I knew something wasn't right spiritually. So as like he's excited and he parks the car, and it's funny because we got there around, it was in the fall, so like the sun was going down around 7 o'clock ish, and he wanted us to start moving, and I was like, look, I'm tired, I'm not moving anything, blah 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 blah. So we just take what we're going to need that night to sleep. Guys, from the second I stood in front of that door, I nearly pissed my pants. I knew something was very wrong. Not wrong on a scale of 1, but on a scale of 10. Like the place was haunted. I knew from that very beginning the place. So my husband is like geeked up, like he's on drugs or something, like a natural high for life. And I was just like, I walked in there and my spiritualism kicked in. 5 spirits in this house, 2 men, 3 women, and 1 that is some type of fucking entity, polka dice. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I know I'm gonna need some holy water, crucifix, a Bible, some cascarella, and some Florida water. I was like, shit. One thing I did have in my purse was Florida water. For some reason, I could never get rid of that. Like, even though I had put down spirituality, I had not put down the Florida water. So I'm like, Florida water this entire bitch, like this entire house. And he was just so geeked up. And I'm like, how can you not feel that? This place is haunted on like some, like, what is it called? Amityville? Like the place, like I could feel, I could smell them. Like the house was old as hell, and basically they had paid my husband to kind of like modernize the house. So he was about to remove things, like it was like a complete reconstruction of the whole house. And ooh, y'all, like that night, my husband wanted to have sex, and I was like, I am not having sex in this house. Like, we went to sleep in the master bedroom, which, believe it or not, wasn't as haunted as the rest of the house. So he wants to have sex. I'm like paranoid. I literally feel like eyes on me, but I feel on us, really. I feel like it's the eyes of a man who's watching us. And I felt like he was smoking a cigar or a pipe. So that night, I was like, hell no. I was like, we ain't fucking. Like, I'm about to go to sleep. You about to go to sleep. Good night. So we go to sleep. And I hate telling this story. I woke up to go prepare breakfast. I think it was like around 7 or 6 something. Y'all, like when I went to go turn the doorknob, it was cold. Like, not no, like, oh, it's chilly in the house because we did have space. Nah, I can't explain it. It was that some ain't right cold. Like Casper, the friendly ghost cold. So I opened that motherfucker up, and this breeze just went whoosh. I was like, these spirits is bossy. These spirits is bold. They're like running through me. I'm like, and then so I go to turn on the hallway light, and it's like flickering like some horror movie. I'm like, this cannot be real. This cannot be. So I used the light from my cell phone to go downstairs. So I'm already creeped out, and I'm walking down the steps, and so I'm walking down the steps, and I see something like waiting at the end of the steps, but I don't see well without my glasses. So I was kind of like, but the presence, like I knew, and it was standing at the edge of the steps. So I'm going down. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm already halfway down the steps. Either I run screaming or I just act like I don't see it. Maybe it's the fact that I don't see well. So I'm just like, but I know I'm seeing a spirit, but it's like I'm talking the haunting started immediately. I mean, there was no breaks. Well, for me. So I go in the kitchen. Y'all, the kitchen has been like torn the fuck down. So like the stove has been disconnected from the sockets. Like you can tell that they're doing construction. Table has like sandalwood or wooden. Like you can tell that whoever was previously working on the house, they had started in the kitchen. So like the cabinets were, it was a mess. So my husband had put some pots and pans, and I was like, he never told me this, and plates on top of the table. So I'm immediately, I turned to my left. I think there was a window. There's a door that has a window, and I saw it. Like it was a little kid. It was like a little girl, and she had like brown or dark blonde hair or something, and she was staring right at me. And I'm not dumb. How can a child I okay, so now I'm like, "Oh, I see you." I'm like, "I see you." Because as a spiritualist, we hear and we see these things. So it's like, it's all good. I see you. My heart is beating so fast now because I'm like, this is crazy. So immediate, like I got no breaks once I walked in this house. I was wide open. And so I'm cooking breakfast and I'm like it's like I can hear it's like I can hear whispering. I'm like, what the fuck? So my husband, he comes downstairs because he wakes up early. He was asleep when I had woke up, and he grabs a broom and he starts trying to sweep up some of the dust and stuff. And I'm like, we're not eating in here. We're eating upstairs. So he's like, okay. And he's like, he stops and he pauses for a second. When somebody hears something but they're not sure. So he heard he heard it too, but he didn't believe what he was hearing. So when he stopped and he was looking around, I knew he heard it. So I was like, you hear it too, but you're never going to say it, but you hear it too. So we go upstairs and we're eating, and he's like, yeah, such and such is coming out on Monday, and we're about to, start everything, da 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 da, and I'm going to fix up the kitchen so that we'll be able to cook, da 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 da. And I'm not saying anything, and he's like, just so, he's like, just so you know, I'm gonna have to take some trips out of town to get some light materials. So you may be alone here for a day or half a day. And I was like, you got me fucked up. Like, you think I'm about to stay in this house by myself? Like, I looked at him like, you got me fucked up. He's like, but I'm gonna wake up real early so that I can just get everything and then head back. So the way I looked at him, you're not spending a day. Like, no. So he's like, what do you want to do? He's like, you're so spooky and you're so scared. He's like, do you just want to go into town and chill? Or I said, I'll come with you. And he didn't seem to really want me to come with him. So I was like, man, okay. And I was like, fine, I'll stay here. Right? Dumb, stupid. Yeah. So that Monday, he left and I was alone in the house. And let me tell y'all, that Fright Night shit, I still ask why I stayed in that house. Let me tell you what happened. My husband's car got a flat tire on his way back. And it took AAA 2 hours to get to him. So he would have been home around 8. He didn't get home till around almost 1 o'clock. It was crazy. So I'm in the house all alone pretty much all Monday. and the shit that went down, y'all, footsteps, record playing, but there's no record. People, it sounded like people were walking outside, like, and I just kept hearing. I mean, it's like conversations. I could hear babies crying, not like babies crying, but I don't even know how. It was just multiple conversations. It's like walking into a restaurant and everyone is talking. It was like that, and it just kept getting louder and louder. And um, like even when you stepped outside, you felt just as creeped out. But the one thing that I always had a feeling was these eyes watching me, and it was not all the eyes. It was one certain eye, and I felt like it was a man who had a pipe or a cigar. And I was like, so that was just Monday. Like all of this stuff is going on within a matter of days. We've only been here for a few days. And so I was like so scared. So I go and I lock my door, and I don't remember if I put something behind the door, and I went and I was taking a shower. And I was taking a shower, but I'm like super paranoid. So again, I this just creeps me out. So I'm in the shower and the light starts to flicker in my bedroom. And I'm like, well, it's an old house, blah, 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 blah. But the way it was flickering, y'all, have y'all seen in movies where the lights flicker and you see a shape when it's dark, and then when the light is on, that's literally what I was kind of seeing. And I said, you motherfucker. I was like, get the fuck out of my room. I said, get your sleazy ass the fuck out of my room, you old nasty ass man. I see you. I see you in that pipe of that fucking cigar you smoking. Y'all, I was scared as hell, but then I was mad as hell. I'm like, you sitting here staring at my titties and my coochie and my booty, and you think I'm not about to say anything? Like, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I was like, because that's how you got to talk to these spirits, or else they'll walk all over you. Y'all, I was scared, but you got to show your ass to these spirits. Like, you got to let these motherfuckers know real quick, I'm not the one. So I was like, get the fuck out of here. And just, it was weird as I said that, the light stopped flickering. And I literally, y'all, I heard whatever I had put in front of the door like swing, and the door was opened. Like, come on now, y'all. Who unlocks a door and swings it? There's nobody else in this house. So immediately I put on a robe. I kept calling my husband, and he's like, yo, I'm on my way. He was like, I'm coming. AAA just got here, but it's gonna take me another hour. He's like, stay calm. He's like, stop freaking out, yo. He's like, you so extra. And I'm like, shit. So I called a friend in another state. I'm not gonna say what state it was, but I called, and she knows I only call her if some shit is really going down. So I called her, and she picks up, and she's like, what's going on? I said, girl, I need a reading. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, pull them motherfucking cards out, girl. We about to do some divination up in this bitch, because I was like, my voice was shaking. Like, I was scared. Like, the thing, the deity, I mean, not the, but the spirit had busted my door open. Come on, y'all. That takes a lot of energy. Like, what type of spirit is this? So she throws down all these cards. I'm getting the card of the devil, the card of death, just all these, the card of the tower, like crazy ass cards. And she's like, girl, she's like, the house that you stayed in used to be like a adoption place, or like an adoption agency, but kids died there and kids were abused, and then after they shut it down. A family came and stayed there, and I think the dad or the uncle was like a child molester, and he smoked cigars, or he smoked a pipe. Do you remember? I kept telling y'all I felt a spirit in the house who smoked a pipe or smoked a cigar, and she was like, "Yeah, girl, like he's behind you right now, y'all, y'all." Yeah, yeah. She was like, "You're going to have to cleanse that house and do some." I'm not talking about no Sylvia Brown walk into the white light. I'm talking about a fucking exorcism. Then she said, "You got something in the basement." She's like, "It looks like a spirit, but it's not. It's actually some type of thing that lives in the basement, but it stays in the basement." But she's like, I was like, "You know what? I was like, I'm good. I don't need to hear no more." And she's like, "How long are you staying there?" I said, "Until he's done with the project." She said, "How long is that?" Girl, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, who knows? But he already signed the contract and he already took partial payment. So, and my friend was like, "Girl," she is like, "if you don't want to walk away with a spiritual attachment or being scared half to death," she's like, "you gotta either cleanse that house really good and do some spiritual work to remove what's in this house, or you gotta go." So I'm like, my husband is not going to want to leave. He thinks we got a sweet deal. Like, because overall it is a nice house. And she's like, "Well, you're going to have to get rid of it." And she's like, "Whatever's in the basement is not going I think she said it was the attic. I don't even think she said it was the babies. It was one of them. She was like, "You're going to have to put up a fight," because she's like, "That one is the one you better come prepared." And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I'm scared as fuck. I'm shaking in my robe. And she's like, "You got to do something, because either leave the house or get rid of them." And I was like, "Well, ooh, who you going to call?" "Ghostbusters." So I'm like, shit, here I go. Back to being. So I'm just over it. Like, I'm like, so basically, we're going to have to do an exorcism, get rid of these things in the house. And I'm like, who you going to call? "Ghostbusters." So I'm like, shit, but I can't do it on my own because I'm going to need help. So I call a friend who lived down south, and she was like, "Hell yeah," because she loved that creepy shit. And she was like, "Girl, I already see them in the house." Da, 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 da. And she basically ran through what was in my house. And so she's an amazing reader. So she was like, "Let's do this. Ghostbusters on these hoes." And I was like, so before she could make it up there, I did some things. I had to go to the store, find like all this stuff to kind of calm things down in the house so that I could stay in it. But I still saw like this lady walking up and down the hallway. I mean, it was still some crazy shit. Like, there's so much more that went on in that house that I don't even want to talk about because it was just creepy. Like, I remember she talked about the noise coming from the basement, and it was true. It was like, it sounded like somebody was dragging something. It was like if you would stop and put your ears towards the door, it sounded like somebody was walking down there, but somebody was dragging something. And I was like, what in the fuck is going on in this? I was like, who lived here last? Was there some type of satanic rituals or some shit like that? Like, what is going on? Because that's normally when you'll see those type of things, when people get those um satanic books and they draw seagulls, and so it's just a mess. But probably some kids stayed here and played around, and they opened something up, and it's just, yeah. So anyways, um my husband was not a fan of spiritual stuff, like spiritual readers, spiritual practitioners. He thought that all of us were scam artists, so he didn't really know my past that well. He knew that I was spiritually open, but he did not know that I was a practitioner. I never told him. I didn't see any reason to. So when my homegirl came, and she came in like 4 days. She was there, and she brought all her tools, and we had to do everything kind of around my husband, which was weird because they would go to town to eat lunch and stuff, and we would do stuff. So he just thought I was just inviting a friend from out of town, but we were doing all types of stuff. And she brought candles, and we brought all types of stuff. He just thought it was for certain parts of the house did not have electricity, so he's not really putting two and two together. But once we started drawing symbols and stuff like that, he was like, y'all on some crazy shit. But you know what? One night he told me that he's seen things in the house and he's heard things. And he was like, yeah, it's haunted. So he finally admitted to it, but that was like almost a month later. So we're cleansing the house. Y'all, when we went to go downstairs into that basement, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. We were scared, but we had to do, um, she was like, girl, what you got in your basement is gonna take more than just one visit. It's gonna take a few. And oh, y'all, that basement, I don't know what was done when we went down to that basement. There's somebody's body buried in that basement. But the crazy thing about it is, it's not, no, we think like somebody was sacrificed in the basement for some type of satanic, which we think there's something buried there, which activated or opened a portal to some type of demon. I don't know. Y'all, we never saw it, but we felt it, and it felt big, and it felt nasty, and it felt, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that took a little while because she left and I had to keep working on it and I had to call somebody else to do some more. Y'all, this story is long. I'm just telling y'all pieces of it. But basically, I ended up staying in the house, but it took a while to get. So I don't even want to talk. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about what was down there in that basement because it's not even worth it. It's just too weird. So basically, us living in that place caused a strain on our marriage because I let the fucking witch out the fucking box. I was like, I refuse. I had cascarilla. I had like symbols written all over the house. I was constantly cleansing. I was doing all types of stuff, and it really irritated him. Even though we had cleared out a lot of that spiritual bullshit out of the house, and it felt so much better, but I was still kind of fighting with what was in the basement. And I mean, it was getting better, and I was still just trying to keep my sanity. And he just was kind of like, well, if you ignore it, it won't bother you. Until one day, him and his workers were doing work, some part of the house. I don't even remember. But one of his workers got so spooked by what he saw that he would not even come back to the house. Till this day, we don't know what he saw. He wouldn't even tell him. He's like, yo, I'm not coming back. Like he says straight up, he's not coming back. And that was around the time before I was doing the heavier cleansings and before my friend came. So yeah, he knew it was true. He knew it was true. And he was down for that polka dice shit. And I was like, I'll be damned if I let polka dice ruin my life. But it put a wedge between us because he doesn't like women who practice anything outside of Christianity. So the spirits were doing a great job at wrecking our marriage, but I was like, fuck you and these spirits. Like, I'm not about to come be on Channel 2 News and be wife kills husband with axe across his head because some spirit possessed me and I killed your ass. So it's best I try to get rid of these spirits. But it was a grueling, how long were we there? 7 months. Hated it. Like any opportunity I got, even though the house was so much more calm and cleaner, there were still little activities going on in the house. And I spent a lot of time going out of town. I spent just trying to spend as less time in the house as I possibly could. And it just kind of made things worse between us because really after we left that house, our marriage got even worse. So um, one thing I will tell people, when you move into a house, please check the history, check the criminal record of the house, check the history of the land. I can't tell you how many people I read who are literally living on top of graveyards, who are living in spiritual tunnels. Like, I don't even like just a lot of spiritual activities. I knew somebody who literally lived in a haunted condo. It wasn't the condo that was haunted, it was the actual land. And they had built it on top of a land where prostitutes were dumped. I don't even know how to explain it. Like people of lower status and like prostitutes, beggars. It was basically a dumping ground. And she was living there. And yeah, guys, always check where you live before you move in. If something sounds too good to be true, it's either haunted or either has a bad history or there was a whole bunch of homeless people shitting in there. So most definitely check out where you live. Paying for somebody to come and spiritually cleanse your house is very expensive, especially if you have demons and powerful spirits. Yeah, you're gonna pay like in the thousands. So make sure that you know what you're moving into before you move into, especially if you're a spiritual practitioner, you just can't live anywhere because believe me, you'll be affected by any type of spirit or negative energy because you have that light that attracts spirits to you. So you got to be careful. Conjure on.